Praise the Lord. How are you all today? Hope you're all doing good. Today, topic for our life's little lessons is reality of life. So let us look into the Bible verse. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verses 6 to 8. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we certainly can't carry anything out. But having food and clothing, we will be content with that. Dear friends, it's true that we need to be content in our lives. Being content with what we have is always not very easy. From our new clothes to the latest electronic items, these will be very tempting that we feel like having more and more. When we buy into this thinking, discontentment sets in, and before long we find ourselves in the middle of an endless cycle of always wanting more and more. So the Bible says godliness with contentment is very beneficial. So what are the keys of our mind to be content? First of all, we need to focus and have desire on God. And then our passion should be towards the things of God. And we should be grateful with what we have and the circumstances we are in. We should be leaning onto the God and ask Him for His strength. So dear friends, I would like to share a small story which comes into my mind about being content. Once there was once in a deep forest, there were tall trees. Among them was a little pine tree. Pine tree is the shortest one, and it was not so cared. So one day a fairy heard someone crying. She looked around and saw the little pine. Who is that crying? Then the pine tree says, nobody loves me, nobody cares for me. I am not precious to anyone. I am useless, says the pine tree. Then the fairy says, okay, don't cry. Tell me what you want me to do for you and ask me a wish. Then the pine tree replies, I want leaves of gold and branches of gold too. Then the fairy tells, okay, let it be done. Now the pine tree had gold leaves, so the woodcutter comes and he cuts the gold leaves and take it off. Then the pine tree starts to cry, and then the fairy again comes. Again, why are you crying? The fairy asks the pine tree. Then the pine tree says, I don't want this gold, I want the leaves of glass. Then nobody will take my leaves. Then the same will be granted by the fairy. So what happens? The strong wind comes and blows away all the glasses. So the fairy again cries. Then the fairy comes when the pine tree cries and asks, what happened? Then it tells, no, let me please come back to what I was having before. Then the fairy grants the same. So here, now the pine says, I am happy of being myself. So the moral of the story is we should be happy with what we have. So dear friends, I wouldn't say that being happy with what we have is really very not easy these days. But let us ask God and let us focus on God. And first of all, the thing is we should learn of being grateful to God and thank God for His blessings. And also thank God for helping us in all our works and our deeds. That is only the reality of life, is being content. So in what other areas are you struggling to be content? Like circumstances, our appearance, and many more. So let us ask God to give more strength and ask us, and let we ask him to give wisdom so as to be content in our lives. May God bless you all. Thank you.